Hello crafty friends, welcome to day 11 of Die Cut December 2024. Today I'm going to be making some get well soon cards for you featuring this set of dies. I'll also be working from this sketch. Feel free to take a screenshot now if you'd like to keep a copy for yourself. So first things first, I have cut my plasters, as we call them in the UK, from smooth white card. So I'm going to use pink. This is Kitsch Flamingo Distress Oxide. This isn't to match with any particular skin colour. It's just a bright pink that I thought I would use. So those are the fabricy bits of the plaster. And now I'm going to use Distress Oxide in Seedless Preserves. And I've got two little hearts here. I think I might cut those again out of gold for a bit of sparkle. I think before assembling those I'm going to leave them to dry for a little bit because Distress Oxides can take a little while to dry. See, I've got the ink on my fingers. So on my sketch I've got the sentiment going from one side to the other at about a third of the way down the card. Now I've got this piece of acetate that I've drawn grid lines on, and this is the same size as my final card will be. I'm going to pop the panel in the middle, roughly, take a little pencil and make a mark here, and that's going to be a third of the way down my final card, and that's just going to give me a guideline as to where I want to put my sentiment. For my sentiment I am going to use the words get well soon. So I've got these little dies. These are from Sizzix, they're Tim Holt, can't remember the name, but they are a grungy looking typewriter type font, and I'm going to cut them out of gold again for a bit of sparkle and shine. I've lined this up, this panel, on the grid on my glass mat so that that little third line roughly matches with that line there. And then I'm going to use this ruler. I'm going to tape this down so that is running horizontally across my card, and that's where I want to line up my sentiment. To glue it down I'm going to use a matte gel medium because it's bound to seep out from underneath these teeny tiny skinny little letters, but it will dry matte and be virtually invisible. So I have tested this and I know it's going to stretch most of the way across the card. So I'll pop my N at that end. And my G is going to go here, but it's a bit of a pickle because it's going to extend underneath the ruler. So I'm going to leave that one for a minute. You could, if you wanted, put some double-sided adhesive tape on the back of the card before you cut your letters. But I find sometimes with small, skinny, delicate die cuts like these, you don't get enough of the double-sided tape in contact with the card for them to stick, because when something skinny like this is die cut you actually get a kind of concave effect. So the middle of the skinny bit is like that, and so not in contact with the card underneath it, and so there's not really enough room. But if you use a glue you can fill up the concave part and it all sticks. All right, so I'm going to just position that there so I can get my E in place. Right, before I remove from my ruler, I'm going to give those all a really good firm press down, protecting everything from my mucky fingers with a bit of deli paper. I had an altercation with a Catherine Pooler ink pad the other day and my fingers went bright blue. I managed to get it off my skin, but it's still underneath my fingernails. While I've got that there, I'm just going to brush over with a damp baby wipe to remove any glue from on top of the letters. Now I'm happy with that, so we can remove this and I can put my G in. One of the nice things about this kind of grungy typewriter font is it doesn't matter if you get things not quite lined up, because an old-fashioned typewriter or a vintage typewriter like the one that I have probably wouldn't type in a straight line anyway. Okay, I think we're ready to rock and roll. we can put these together. I'm just going to add a little bit of matte gel medium in the square, which is where these squares are going to sit. Our seedless preserve squares. I'll dip the hearts in a little bit. Tap it off so hopefully it doesn't splurge. To stick these down, I'm going to use high-tack glue because it's going to stop them shifting around. And I'm not particularly worried about the glue coming out the sides. I think I can put that down without that happening. Oh no, maybe I can't, but never mind, just wipe that off. So I've put the larger of the two plasters higher up on this particular one. Could have it the other way around. And now I'm going to chop off the overhang. So I'll pop some tape runner on the back of this and add it to a card blank, which I will trim down momentarily. So there we go, one get well soon card with a sticking plaster / band-aid motif. Despite trying very hard to get this one on straight, I think it's definitely wonky, but hey ho, it's a handmade card. I've got a couple of others that I made following the sketch. This was my practice run. I just thought I'd show you this because I've used different colours and I've managed to get that one on one key, I think. Definitely having a bit of trouble getting things on straight at the moment. So this one, I just used some bits from my box of backgrounds and bits and chose a green piece for the fabric, then a bluey purple smushed square and pink heart. So I think that's quite a nice colour combination. Instead of snipping the plasters off at the edge of the panel, I actually snipped them off at the edge of the whole card. So that's a slightly different look. I think I prefer this one. I think it looks a little neater and tidier. And for this one, I decided to embrace wonkiness and stuck my plasters on at a jaunty angle. I also flipped the sketch and did it down the bottom part of the card. I used Salty Ocean and Chipped Sapphire for my inks. And instead of hearts, I put stars on. And I just used a couple of small star dies to cut those out of silver foil. And I changed the font up. This one is a Gemini Mini Crafter's Companion alphabet. It's a really nice one to use on cards because it's a good size. And again, I snipped off the fabric bit of the plasters at the edge of the panel rather than the whole card. I'm really happy with the way these turned out, even with the unintentional wonkiness on this one. I hope you've enjoyed the video and that it's given you a few ideas that you can use in your own card making. If it has, please do leave a thumbs up, let me know in the comments, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 12 of Die Cut December 2024. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.